Namaste to all. This is an other video against the channel Arya Samaj Vinashak, who is spreading venom against Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati ji as well as against Arya Samaj. Just to clarify, I am not an Arya Samaji. I don't belong to Arya Samaj. I have great love, great respect towards Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati and the Vedic Sanatan Dharma. I have been learning Vedas under the lotus feet of my Acharya for the last 18 years now and still continue to learn. So I have a little bit of sound understanding of the Vedic context. So as per Vedas, Almighty God very clearly says, number 1, God never takes avatar. Number 2, God never has a physical body. Neither God can be imagined nor God can be described by words. So God is always realized in Samadhi only by a yogi, Rishi, Muni. That is the time when God himself awards the title of Rishi, Muni or Yogi to a normal human being. So if you want more clarity on Rishi, Muni, Yogi, Tapasvi, I have made 1300 videos. You can go through it. Now coming to the video made by this little fellow who does not know ABCD of Vedas, he is referring to a book written by some MA, PhD Sanskrit scholar. We have to understand that we should never study Vedas from books. We should always listen Vedas from an Acharya, because Vedas are alive power of Almighty God. The alive power of Almighty God emanates from alive Almighty only, who is manifested inside the Rishi who is alive. So we have to listen Vedas from a Rishi, that is called as Vedas. If we study Vedas from the books, it is not called as Vedas. The printed textbooks are Samhita. It can give some little bit of guidance, but never ever study books written by normal human beings, MA, PhD, who has not done any tapasya in the life, who has not studied Vedas in Gurukul, who has not served his Acharya in lifetime. So whether you are a MA, PhD or anybody else, if you have not served your Acharya, if you have not studied in Gurukul, if you are not having an Acharya in your life, then your book is total rubbish. It has to be thrown away, especially in case of spirituality. So now coming to the mantra quoted by this guy, he quoted the Rig Veda 10th Mandal 125th Sukta. The Sukta Devata is Vagam Brini, Vag Sukta. He said that this Sukta proves that Almighty God has a form. Now I will explain to you shortly what is the real meaning of those mantras, which is beautifully written by my Acharya in the website vedmandir.com. One gentleman, a Muslim brother, is asking to my Acharya ji, Namaste Acharya ji, I would please like you to give me the translation of Rig Veda 10 by 125 from mantra number 1 to 8. I would please also like you to explain in the translation the meaning of Rudra, Indra, Agni, Aditya, Vishwe, Deva, Varuna, Ashwina, etc. It is very difficult for me to get the translation of this hymn. Also, I would like the translation of Rig Veda 10 by 127 from mantra number 1 to 8. What is meant by Ratri in this mantra? So my Acharya ji, Swami Ram Swarup ji Yogacharya answers, Yusuf Bhai ji Salam. Yusuf Bhai, the work is very lengthy. However, I will devote time and translate all the mantras, but it will take 10 to 15 days time, because I am completely busy in whole day's routine spiritual life of spiritualism. However, now I am sending you the idea of each mantra as under. So my Acharya has explained the idea of each mantra. One of the mantra is like this: Om Aham Rudrebir Vasubhishcharamayam Aham Adityairuta Vishwadevaihi Aham Mitra Varuno Bhavibam Aryam Aham Indragni Aham Ashwino Bha. So the idea, my Acharya ji writes, the Devata of all the mantras in this sukta is Vagam Brini. That means Ambrini Vak. Ambrinaha means the most supreme Almighty God. Vak means the power of knowledge. Meaning of Ambrini Vak will be the power of knowledge, the Gyan Shakti of the most supreme God. In all the mantras, the word Aham has been used. Here the meaning of the word Aham, that is the pronoun, indicates the power of knowledge of Almighty God. Shvetashvatara Upanishad, Shloka 6 by 8 states that divine knowledge, the divine power and the divine deeds of God acts naturally and automatically. Swabhavaki Jnanam Bhalam Kriyacha. The said three matters of God are unlimited. Therefore, the divine power of knowledge of God is also unlimited and acts automatically at a stipulated time in all the matters and the deeds, etc. Here, Yajurveda Mantra 31/4 also clarifies, stating Pado Asya Abhavat Punaha, that is, only 1/4 part of the power and the knowledge of God creates, nurses, and destroys and commands over the universe automatically at a stipulated time in all the cases. I mean to say, God is so powerful, He wields unlimited power of all kinds, that God Himself needs not to create, nurse, destroy, and command the universe, but His power, that is His knowledge and deeds, etc., is enough to do the same. The idea of the mantra is representative of the God, that is, the power of knowledge holds the 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas, that is the 12 months, fire, electricity, days and nights, Devalok, that is the celestial bodies emitting the light, Prithvilok, that is the earth, etc. As regards the Rudra and Vasu, etc., I paste my article below. Non-alive 33 Devatas, 8 Vasus, Prithvi, Vayu, Surya, Akash, Chandrama, Nakshatra, Jal, Agni, 12 Adityas, that is the 12 months, 11 Rudras, that is the 10 Pranas and 1 soul, Prajapati and Indra. These are the 33 non-alive Devatas. No doubt, it seems quite weird to the people that how the knowledge of God can hold the Vasu, etc. In Rigveda Mantra asked by you, the meaning of Aham is the power of the knowledge of Almighty God to create, nurse, destroy, command, etc. over the entire universe. To nurse means the power of God holds the universe. That is why the above quoted Rigveda Mantra 10/125/1 symbolically states that the power of Almighty God, which is also a representative of Almighty God, symbolically holds, that is, creates and nurses. The above quoted all the matters like 8 Vasus, etc. I hope you understood. Please go through this audio again and again. It's very, very important to understand the basic concepts of Vedas. The next point, my Acharya writes, similarly in the second mantra, the said power of Almighty God holds the moon, sun, air, and yajna, and the learned persons who perform the yajna are satisfied with that power. The said power also holds the soul of Yajaman, that is, the learned person who performs the daily yajna with Veda mantras. Here, holds means that power takes care of him. In the third mantra, it is said that the power of the Lord of the universe, the power gives wealth. She, that is the power, teaches the process of performing the divine deed yajna. In the mantra number 4, it is preached that the power of knowledge of God is realized in the shape of eating, seeing, listening, but those who do not adopt it in life, they are destroyed. The idea of the fifth mantra is the said power of God makes the ordinary people learned Brahma. Brahma means who knows and follows 4 Vedas, and also makes them Rishi. Rishi means who attains Samadhi by following the Vedic path and doing hard practice of Ashtanga Yoga, and thus sees the Veda mantras within themselves and gives pure intellect. The idea is this, that those who attain the preach of the learned Rishi Muni and follow the Vedic path, they get the above divine qualities. The idea of the mantra 6 is that the persons who hate and are against the learned of Vedas, for those the said power of God fights against them. The said power resides everywhere, that is in Devalok, celestial bodies emitting light, and Prithvilok, the earth. Here the meaning of fight is that such persons are awarded with punishment by the power automatically, being the result of those people bad deeds. The idea of the mantra number 7 is that the said power creates the sun which is shining in the sky. Its residence is in every atom, subcluster particles, in the space, in the entire universe, etc., God being omnipresent. The said power causes rain from the clouds. Idea of the mantra 8 is the said power of God acts like a blowing wind to create the universe. It resides even above the said Devalok and Prithvilok. The meanings of Rudra, Indra, etc. are distinct, therefore are considered based on the respective Veda mantras in which those are used. For example, meaning of Sandev in Sanskrit are 2, that is salt and horse. Now the correct meaning is chosen from the sentences from where it is used. If a master asks his servant to bring sandev when he is taking food on the dining table, then if his servant is learned, he will bring the salt and not the horse. Similarly, if the master is ready for horse riding and waiting for the horse and asks the servant to bring sandev, then the learned servant will bring the horse and not the salt. Similarly, Rudra used in Yajurveda mantra 16/1 shows the meaning of Rudra as the king who shows his anger to the criminals. In other mantras, Rudra mean God, who gives punishment and makes the criminals to cry and weep. In some mantras, the meaning of Rudra is vital airs and soul, because when soul and vital airs goes out of the body, then the relatives of the dead person start weeping. Agni means God. Agni means learned Acharya. Agni also means the corporal fire according to the Ved mantras. For example, Rigveda mantra 1/1 states Agni Mide Purohitam. In the mantra, the adjective used shows the divine qualities of Almighty God. So here Agni means Almighty God. Similarly, in some mantras, the meaning of Agni differs from the above meaning. Aditya means God. Aditya means sun. Aditya means learned Acharya, etc. according to the Ved mantras. For example, Yajurveda mantra 31/18 is Veda Ahmetam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam. That is Etam, the God described in the previous mantras, who is Mahantam, the most supreme Aditya Varnam. Here Aditya means whose form is like a sun. That is, sun has the light, so the God is also form of light. That is why the name of God is Aditya. In other mantras, the meaning of Aditya is a person who maintains brahmacharya up to 33 years, etc. Similarly, in Rigveda mantra 5/51/13, the meaning of Vishwe Deva is Vishwe, all. Deva means learned of Vedas. In Rigveda mantra 1/24/15, the meaning of Varuna is acceptable God. According to this mantra, it may differ in other mantras according to the description of qualities in the mantra. Similarly, the meaning of Ashwina is omnipresent Almighty God. Now coming to Rigveda Mandal 10:127/1. Ayati Ratrihi, coming night, Devi. Here Devi means which gives us, that is, night gives us the time to sleep, rest and comfort, etc. In the night, the moon generates juices in the vegetation, making them succulent and nutritive. So here the night is being called Devi. Akshibihi, with the eyes, that is the eyes in the shape of planets, stars, moon, etc. Vyakhyayet, distinctly portrays, shows herself, that is the night. Adit, she holds within her Vishwa Shriyaha, all beauty and splendor. Meaning the coming night with the eyes, that is with the planets, distinctly portrays, shows herself, she holds within her all the beauty and splendor. The idea of the mantra is when the night comes, she shows her presence through the planets. That is why we say that moon and stars have risen or seen in the night. The beauty of planets can only be seen in the night. Tiredness of human beings gets over during night. The flowers of all the trees are also developed at night only. That is why it is said night holds all the beauty within her. Please note that the Devata, that is the subject matter of all the mantra, is Ratri, night. Second mantra, the ideas of the mantra is the process of coming of night is eternal. It starts right from the beginning of the earth. It is omnipresent for the places at higher and lower attitudes and shows them equally in uniform shape. The night makes all the human beings able to take sound sleep to get energy for the next day to work. Mantra number 3 idea is when the night comes, then it is followed by cooperative Usha, that is the dawn. When the dawn comes, the darkness of the night starts vanishing away. The beauty of dawn rests on the night. Next idea of the mantra 4 is the night is beneficial for all the living beings, whose coming makes the living beings to reach the residence, to retire there in peace, like the birds entering their nest in the dusk. Idea of the mantra 5 is in the mantra it is preached that all humans, animal, birds should take sound sleep in the night to remove tiredness. Idea of the mantra 6 is that in the night the humans take sleep, then wolves, etc., carnivores and other animals and thieves may disturb us. So the time of night is made by God to enter into the house and get sleep. Idea of the mantra 7 is when the dawn starts coming, then the darkness of the night starts vanishing away. This also finishes the tensions of the darkness in our mind. It awakens us. Idea of the mantra 8 is the night is like the daughter of the sun. We must welcome it. We should perform Agnihotra Yajna by offering ahutis to get victory over several diseases. So in nutshell, the night has all the facilities for all the human beings as quoted above. I heartily pray to God for your well-being. So any mantra we have to always understand from Acharya. It will give us very good clarity, even if he is commenting 2 or 3 lines only. But when you go to our Acharya, by my Acharya, and listen Vedas, he can explain one mantra for 2-3 hours also. He will explain so depth knowledge in each mantra. So we must not listen to this Arya Samaj, Vinashak kind of people who are, I would say, born to spoil and destroy the Sanatan Dharma. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.